Shalom Aleichem Chevra. Welcome back to Sefer Tanya. It is in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia, Sunday morning, 12:52 a.m. And we did not yet record a Saturday. Shabbos is Tanya, and that's what we're going to do right now. So, Shabbos Tanya for the 5th of Nisan, which was Shabbat. Today is actually the 6th, early morning on Sunday. So we're going to be doing the 5th of Nisan Shabbat, chapter 40. We're talking about Kavana in Tefillah, and that if the Tefillah does not have Kavana, basically it's just neutral. There is the Tefillah is not being motivated by love or fear of Hashem, not intellectually created love and not natural love. Just doing it. So it's kind of trapped in Klippas Noga, and it does not stand up before Hashem. So, but if he reviews the subject, if he reviews or the Torah learning, or he says that the davening at a later date, lishma, with love and fear of God, then the previous Torah learning or davening, which was not done with love and fear of Hashem, is now, in this case, joined and is released from the klippas and goes up with the current davening or learning, which either one can be scrapped, so to speak, and then you can liberate it by later going back and reviewing that piece of Torah or saying again that piece of davening with love and fear of Hashem. Now, continuing today, so today begins by saying that, one moment please, okay. Today begins by saying that, but the whole time that he does not return and learn this thing for lishma, for its own sake, for his name's sake, then what? Then his learning, which was not done lishma, does not ascend even to the 10 spheres which shine in the world of Yitzhira and Asiya. So not even to the world of Asiya, the lowest world, does not ascend, because he didn't learn it or say the davening lishma. Because the spheros are the aspect of godliness. Ubehen, and in them, mitlavesh yachid orin so baruch mamash, and in the spheros is dressed up, and and the spheros is dressed up and is united, the infinite light of God, blessed be He, literally. Note by Rabbi Weinberg, and therefore, were this person's Torah to ascend into the Sphirot, it would actually ascend to the Or Ein Sof light. And without fear and love, the Torah cannot rise to stand before Hashem, the Ein Sof light, as written in Tikkun Zohar. And without fear and love, Lo Yachla, it's not able, the Sawaka, to go up, will it may come and stand, Kadam Havaya, before Hashem. Kamo, like Shikatu, Tikkunim, like it is written in Tikkun Zohar. Rak, only, Limuidoi, his study, Oila goes up, Lechalot, to the chambers, and Midorin, and the abodes, Shehin, Chitzonius, which are the externality of the worlds. The spheroids are the internal aspect of each world, its divine creative power. The chambers constitute the creative world itself. Okay, so it's not going to go panemius internally. It stays in the external areas of the worlds. Shebehem umdim malachim, where the angels are positioned. Okay, continuing with Sefer Tanya. Okay, we were saying Continuing, Rabbi Chaim Vital, the blessed memory, writes in chapter 2, Torah and MItzvot, the portal of prophecy, that from Torah studied without Kavana, angels are created in the world of Yetzirah, and from mitzvahs performed without Kavana, angels are created in the world of Asiyah. We'll say that in the language of the Alter Rebbe, Harav Chaim Vital, and like Harav Chaim Vital writes, Zichronu Livracha, may his memory be for a blessing. Bashar Nevuah, in the gate of prophecy, Perek Beis, chapter 2, Shemehatorah Shalom B'Kavanah, the Torah without intention, Nivraim Malachim B'Olam Yetzirah, it creates angels in the world of Yetzirah. Mitzvahs b'li kavana, and if you do mitzvahs without intention, what is intention? We've been saying that intention is with love and fear of Hashem. So mitzvahs without intention create angels in the world of Asiyah, or the lowest world of Asiyah. Now all angels are possessed of matter and form. All angels, they are Balei Chaimer, they have matter, tsura, and form. Matter and form. But Torah studied strictly Shalom Lishma. Okay, so now we're switching. So even Torah study that is without not Lishma, but it's not generated with fear and love, but it's not Shalom Lishma. It's not for some ulterior motive. So we said that goes up to the externality of the worlds where the angels are. And now we're going to talk about what if you study Shalom Lishma for an alternative purpose, not just neutrally, but for some ulterior motive, for a selfish reason for your. Okay, something which is which is literally with Shalom Lishma, going for example, to be a Talmud Chacham, or Kavana, or something like that, some kind of personal gain reason. So certainly not for the love and fear of Hashem, but rather for yourself, right? Ainu Ola Klau does not go up at all. The Mala above. I feel even the Hikalot to the chambers of Mador and to the abode Hamalachim, the Kedusha of the holy angels, where something would go there if it was done neutrally. But if it's done Shalom Lishma, it does not even go there. What happens? Nisher Lamata remains down here below, Olamazeh in this world. Nagashmi, the physical world, Shu Mador Klipot, which is the abode of Klipot, the shells. Kamosha Gatu Bazar, like it says in Sefer Azar, Chele Gimel, Daf Lamed Aleph, Amud Base, V'daf Chof Base, Aleph, Amud Base, Ayin Sham, like it says in the Zohar, part 3, page 31b and 121b. Okay. And it says that word ascends on high and pierces the heavens and evokes what it evokes. It says so the Holy Zohar that Hahi Milah, a word, Salka, goes up, Baka'ah, and pierces Rakia, the heavens, holy, etc. V'itar ma itar, and it evokes what it evokes. If the word is good, im tav chuli. If the word is good, a word of Torah or the like, it's good. Im tav chuli, ayin sham. Tav, and also on page 105, Tav Kof Hey Amud Aleph, it says, from a word of Torah, a voice formed which rises. Mila de Rais, a word of Torah, Itabid, Minei Kala Vasalik Chuli. Sure, I'm not so familiar with it. Zohar, translating from the Chabad.org, from a word of Torah, a voice is formed which goes up. And on 168b, it says, the voices of Torah and prayer ascend on high and pierces the heaven. Daf Kuf Samech Ches Amud Beis Kalin D'Oraisa Uchlosa Bekain D'Rakia Huli. All three passages from the Zohar indicate that words of Torah ascend on high, rending the heavens. It is similarly written in the Zohar, commenting on the verse, what profit has a man of all his toil that he labors under the sun? The Kamosh Katuv Zohar al Apasuk, Ma Yisaron Adam, what is the advantage to a man? Bechol Amalo, in all his labor. Shia Mol Tachas Hashem said he labors under the sun. Rabbi Weinberg's note now, our sages point out that only man's labor under the sun, toil in mundane matters, does not realize any profit. But the labor of Torah, however, is above the sun and does indeed profit a man. The Zohar, though, stipulates, even dafilu amalo deiraisa, even if you're working in the Torah, iavid bagin ikare, if one does it for his own glory, huli, etc., it belongs to the category of labor under the sun, and there is no profit. This is also the meaning of the saying, this is what it says, Ashrei mi sheba lika'an, Talmudoi b'yado, praised is he who comes here, and his Torah is in his hand, meaning that his Torah study, Pirush, meaning Shelo Nishar Lamata Bolemazeh, his Torah study did not remain below in this world. Note by Rabbi Weinberg, thus the saying means, happy is he who studies the Torah Lishma, so that his Torah goes on high. Had he not studied Torah Lishma, his Torah would not be with him in his hand when his soul ascends, but would remain in the world. Continuing with the note, it has been demonstrated above that Torah studied out of habit without personal motive, yet lacking intention of lishma, without love and fear, does not ascend on high to be absorbed into the Sefirot. The author Rebbe now proceeds to explain why this is the case. The difficulty is that the Torah and God are altogether one, for the Torah is God's will. Thus, the Torah is higher even than the Sefirot, just as God's will transcends the Sefirot. Why then does the Torah need one's Kavana to elevate it to the Sefirot? Even though that the Torah and the Holy One, blessed be, are entirely one, and He and His will are one, behold, the Holy One, blessed be He, fills all the worlds equally. Despite that, the worlds are not equivalent or not equal in their quality and their level. Shashinu, the difference is meha makabalim, to the recipients, in two aspects. One, the first aspect, how the worlds are different, and to the recipients. The first, Elyonim mekabalim ha'ara yoter gedola l'enkates metachtonim, that the higher worlds receive a ray much greater, with an infinitely greater ray than the lower worlds receive. The second thing is that the receivers believe Bushim the higher ones receive this illumination without as many garments and veils as the lower ones. This world is the lowest of all the worlds in both respects. For the illumination, Kiara Shabo, in this world, Mitzum and Semet Ma'oid, is enormously contracted until Katsah until the ultimate degree of the pain, and therefore whom Gashmi, it's core, it's physical and coarse and physical. But Gamzos, and even this, he Belavushim and Masachim Rabbi. Even this contracted illumination has many garments to veil. Until it is clothed in klipas noga. Called the Rema to give life to all clean things in this world. And included them who nefesh achionis, the vitalizing soul, which is speaking in the man. Note, as mentioned in earlier chapters, all permitted objects receive their vitality via klipas noga and can therefore serve either a good or evil purpose. Therefore, when the animating soul speaks words of Torah or prayer without Kavana, the concealment characteristic of this world is absent, yet the contraction still applies. So, even though you're saying holy letters, and the klipas noga does not, the klipas noga which is in the vitalizing soul does not make a veil of separation, dividing at all to hide and cover, or to cover and hide on the holiness, on his holiness, blessed be he, which is dressed up in those letters. Kamoshi Masater to Makase Alakadusha Zizborok like that it would cover and conceal on God's holiness in the vitalizing soul if the person were speaking nonsense. If the person was speaking nonsense, then the holiness in the animal soul would be covered up. But he's not speaking nonsense. He's speaking the words of the Holy Torah, but just doesn't have intention. So what happens? Okay, actually, let me backtrack and say this more accurately. So what we're saying here is, let's go back for a second. When the animating soul speaks words of Torah and prayer without Kavana, without Kavana, he's saying Torah mitzvahs, but no Kavana. So the klipas noga of the animating soul does not make a barrier and doesn't cover the divine holiness in the letters because the letters are holy. You're saying the person is saying holy things, and that divinity is not obstructed. Now, what would be obstructed is if the person spoke nonsense. If the person spoke nonsense with his animating soul, then the klipa would indeed cover up the holiness which is found within the animating soul, as we said earlier, because Hashem fills the whole world, all places. But that divinity would be utterly covered and concealed due to the fact that the person was speaking nonsense. And the divine holiness in the animating souls, so the klipas noga covers it up, and also covers up the divinity in the animating souls of other ritually clean living creatures, where klipas noga likewise conceals the divine life force. So with other clean animals, that is still being created and given life from God, from divinity, but it's covered up. So even though that there is no place void of him, and his presence is found in man's animating soul, even when he engages in nonsense, Hashem is still there, and Hashem is still in the souls of all living creatures, yet, Ihu stimu dekol stimim. Hashem is called the hidden of all hiddens, and he's called Kel Mistater. He's called the hidden God. He's hidden from his creations. Similarly, Hara, the rail, Vihid Pashtut, an extension, Achayos of life, menu from him, Spark blessed be he, Mistateret is hidden, Bilabushim in garments, Masachim, and coverings, Rabbi, many of them, Atsumim, and intensely. So similarly, the ray, an extension of life that comes out of him, blessed be he, is covered in garments, and a lot of garments, and intense covering garments, until until Hashem's vitality comes through the garment of Noga, Lipa, which completely conceals man's divine life force when he engages in idle talk, and also conceals the divinity and the life force of other animals. So that is when he's involved with Duyot. But Masha ain't Cain, but that's not the case. Duyot Hakadushot with the holy letters shall be Torah Tefillah in words of Torah and Tefillah. The Adrabah, quite the opposite. Klippas Noga mitapechet is flipped around. The Torah for good when it's included in the holiness, like we said above. So, if that's the case, then when a person says Torah and MItzvot, that the klipa is actually transformed into kedusha. So what's the issue? Well, let's get into it. Makal Makam, despite all that, the hara shebehem, the light, the right, the ray that is in them, the kedusha so yisbarach from His holiness, blessed be He. He it is to the furthest degree contracted. Tzimtzum ad katzeh acharon, to the first degree contracted. Ma'achar, since she'akol adibur hu gashmi, since the voice and the speech is material, meaning we're talking about the person that's doing Torah and mitzvahs without Kavana. So that's called a material voice. There's no Kavana. So even though that Torah and the mitzvahs are one with Hashem and does cause the Klipas Noga to be converted into Kedusha, the problem is that the illumination and extension of His holiness that these words contain is contracted. So yes, it's divinity, but the illumination, the shine, the illumination, the warmth and shine from His Kedusha becomes contracted without Kavana. Note, therefore, although Torah is one with Hashem, words of Torah will not ascend to the Sefirot without Kavana, since the godliness within them is greatly contracted. That's why it's greatly contracted, because he has no Kavana. But with prayer, with intention, with Torah, Kavana, and Torah with intention, Lishma, for His sake, for His name's sake. Behold, the Kavana is dressed up in the letters of speech. Ho'il, since Vihi, and it is Makor, the source, Shorish, and root lehem to them. The Kavana is clothed in the letters of speech, since it is their source and root. For he speaks these words for and because of the Kavana. Shemechamta, that because of and the cause of Shemechamata Obisibatahu Medaberot Yodelo, because of his intention and that being the cause, he's speaking these words, right? He's speaking the words, it's a function of his Kavana. Therefore, whom Allah ad makoma. Therefore, the Kavana elevates the words to its own level. The Kavana is going to bring the words that you say to the level of the Kavana. Because the words and letters are riding on the Kavana. The Kavana is causing the person to say those words and brings the words where his Kavana is. Meaning, in the case of a person that's doing it with intention, lishma, for Hashem's sake, for love or fear of God. So that means to the 10 spheres of Yitzhira, Bria, and Kedusha, to the 10 Sfirot and the world of Yitzhira or Bria. What type of Kavana it is. B'tchilu or chimoyin, fear and love, sichlim, that he generated with his choice, with his intellect, or to be because that's how he is created. He is naturally someone who does love and fear Hashem. So if he does it, if his intention is rooted in his choice, because he contemplates on the greatness of Hashem, and he generates and creates and gives birth to love and fear, then his Torah and Tefillah will go to the world of Bria. That's the higher level. But if he only reveals the natural love and fear which he has already in his heart because he's a Yid that loves Hashem naturally, so then that goes to the world of Yitzhira, the lower level than Bria. V'shamanir, Me'ir, Mikvele, and whatever world it goes to, it shines and reveals the infinite light of Hashem. True Ratzano, meaning the blessed divine will, that's the upper will, Baruch Hu, blessed be He, Tambaluva, Shmioti the Torah, which is Shurasta, and the letters of the Torah, Shalemid, Mikavanatan, which he learns with their intention, with intention, or Tefillah, in davening, Bikavanata, with an intention, or mitzvahs with intention. Bahara Gadola indicates this Ein Sof light of the divine will radiates in the sphere with an intensely great brightness. Bahara Gadola indicates Mashallah Yehola Irol Galut Kalapa Oid Hotiyot HaMitzvot Gashmi. It shines with infinitely great brightness that can by no means shine forth and be revealed while the letters of the Torah and prayer and the mitzvahs are still in the physical world. Note, the Torah and the mitzvahs contain the radiance of the divine will, even as they are in the physical world. But this radiance is altogether incomparable to the radiance of the divine will that the Torah and mitzvahs contain when they ascend to the spirit of Yisera B'riah. Because neither the radiance itself that shines forth in the spirit nor any part of it can be revealed in the physical world. Lo mina v'lo miksasa. It cannot be revealed in the physical world. Ad is Ketza Yomim, until the end of days. Shi'taleh ha'olam mikashmiyato, that the world will raise up from its physicality, and the glory of Hashem will be revealed, the Gomer, etc. Like we spoke about earlier. Final note, at that time the divine will contained in the Torah and the mitzvahs of this world will shine forth in all its splendor. Till then, however, this radiance is incomparable to that of the divine will contained in the Torah and mitzvahs insofar as they ascend the sphere. So, in summary, what we said was the impact, the illumination and shine of Torah and Tefillah occurs when there is love and fear. of Hashem, either natural or generated. And that illumination is of an infinitely higher order than Torah and MItzvot is done without the intention, and until end of days, I guess that the whole thing will be revealed. So there we have Tanya for Shabbos. Tanya for Shabbos, the 5th of Nisan, now 1:34 a.m. in downtown Atlanta. May we all be in Eretz Yisrael, Artsenu, Kol Achim Gam Yachad, Kol Yudi, Mishpacha Achas. See you there.